Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of my combo fans out there. It's me, your captain speaking. If you give me just one moment, I'm going to make sure that you and everybody else that you care about know that this stream is happening right now. I'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Thursday night stream with me, your captain. Tonight, we are going to be playing what can only be described as in the spice corner, all right? This is going to be something that features a new card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Elemental Eruption. This is a 6-mana sorcery, 2 red and 4. Create a 4/4 red dragon elemental creature token with flying and prowess. And it has storm. So already this is going to be a fun win condition. We don't need a lot of storm to actually win, right? We only need 5 storm to create a lethal attack. That'll give me 20 damage on the battlefield. Now, that's all well and good, but we only have 1 elemental eruption in the main deck. We have a couple in the sideboard. Don't worry, we're going to be getting there. But what are we doing other than that? Well, we've got Ad Nauseam in this deck. We've got Arclight Phoenix in this deck. We've got Buried Alive in this deck. Empty the Wars. We have got a ton. Oh, I realize that I have mismatching duresses. That's annoying. And they're not even the good one. I definitely have duress in here. But it's like such a nice even number now. Like this is a really nice grid, but I am I've got to play the good duresses. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. I will actually, you know what, before I do this, I'm going to drop from this league because I am just going to play with the regular duresses. All right, guys. That's just not going to happen. So we've got a really, really fun, spicy build tonight, and it's going to be Rakdos Storm. Really, really fun. And I'm excited as heck for this. We're going to get right into it. I need to get queued up for a league, and we're going to see this posted. I think this posted, I saw this in a 5.0 deck dump. Either that or like a prelim finish. I don't remember, but I saw this and it looks like so much fun. And we're just going to see how it goes. We've got a nice Burning Wish package, you know, the Elemental Eruption, obviously, Empty the Warrens, Chain Lightning for that extra little bit of reach, and obviously Peer into the Abyss, Tendrils of Agony. And we can also have a Burning Wish Buried Alive line to get all of our Arclight Phoenixes. We are erupting from the ashes tonight, and I think that it's going to be a blast. So let's join this league. We've got Arclight Storm, and let's go with some play points, and let's get started. I am having a blast, and this segues really nicely into what's above my head. While we're waiting, we've got a sponsor from KMC, 10% off if you use Storm 10, and we're already queued up for round number 1. And hello, everybody in chat. Aaron Newton, Hyperfocus Info. It's going to be a great time. I am going to keep this hand. We're relatively disruptive. We're on the draw, so I think that I can keep a 1-lander on the draw. We also have a single Surveil land, which is going to be nice. So I'm going to keep this, and we're going to see our opponent also has kept. See where this takes us. I realized that I also saw some Buried Alives that were not the original retro bordered. There's actually 2 retro border printings that were within the same year, I think. So make sure you get the right ones that you like. But I've rented those. I didn't own those. I do own the regular duresses. Okay, Prismatic Vista and fetching in my upkeep. Interesting choice. And there's an island. Who would have thought? All right, Arclight Phoenix. It's nice. What I'm going to do for a basic land deck, I don't know if I should be expecting Wasteland. I'm not going to... I don't know. I have double red that it's a necessary component of my deck. But I think I'm just going to get... I'm going to get the Badlands here. I'm going to Badlands, and I'm going to cast a Duress. Well, hold up. Let's think about this. On 2, our opponent could have something like a Stoneforge Mystic that I would want to also strip. So I'm actually going to Thoughtseize them instead of Duressing them. Duress might actually be a little bit better. Ooh, Flusterstorm. Didn't matter what I did. Okay, Flusterstorm in the main deck. Well, I'm not going to pay for it. And now I'm very curious what our opponent is doing. I wasn't expecting a Daze, and I was expecting them to be fetching around like a Stifle. Maybe they wanted to surveil. There were island cycling. There we go. Okay. So we've got 2 basic islands. They had the opportunity to find a secondary color, and they just picked up a basic. I'm very curious. We found another land. That's going to get our Surveil land, I think. And I could take the time off, actually get the basic land and Infernal Tutor for another Cabal Ritual. I don't really like that. Omnitel, yeah. That wouldn't surprise me if it's some kind of Omni deck. Mono blue with maybe a green splash or something like that. Okay, Brainstorm it is. Newton, yeah, you said it's show and tell or back to basics. Yeah, absolutely. This guy sounds familiar. Okay, there's the Intuition. So Impulse, Lorien Revealed, Intuition. They've got an Emrakul right there. Well, that's going to be kind of tough. I cannot duress an Emrakul. So I'm going to take this intuition. And they probably put a show and tell on top, and I can't really do anything about that. But I can, I don't know, put in an Arclight Phoenix. It'll have to be what we do for now and see what our surveil actually ends up giving us. Honestly, I don't know what it is. I get housed by show and tell variants like the first round out, it feels like. So there's the Emrakul that we knew was happening. End step, I'm going to hit a raucous theater and get a surveil going. This will beef up our... Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not enough mana, and I don't think... Okay, 1, 2... I'm not going to have enough for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not going to be enough. Okay, so I need to bin this because I'm not going to have threshold. I'm not going to have the requisite amount of mana. It's so close in a couple of different regards, but this does speed up our threshold. So I just want another. I want a Lotus Petal. That would be great. Arclight Phoenix is probably not going to do it. I can. No, I'm not actually gonna be able to find anything. Okay, never mind. This is not a sneak attack Emrakul. This is just a down and dirty. I have an Emrakul now, so can't really do anything about that. Ley lines. Okay, so here's the one thing that I saw about this list that I was curious about. We're an ad nauseum deck. I get it. Kind of tough bringing in ley lines, but the ley lines come in, the ad nauseum comes out. Seems fair enough to me. But we're not playing something that would be really, really nice to have, which would be a Helm of Obedience as an alternative win, right? We're also not playing things like Beseech the Mirror, which doesn't really work with elemental eruption, which I think is fine. We need Rite of Flames for the red mana, instead of Lotus Petals or Chromox and Mox Opals. Those don't turn on Buried Alive either. I think I'm good. I think I'm not sideboarding at all. Adria, just thinking you wanted to play this deck. Well, yeah, let's practice it together at first, and then you can figure out if it's something that you want to do. Would I like to play first? Yes, absolutely. I would like to play first. Okay, well, this is a very disruptive hand and nothing else. I don't think that that's going to... I mean, we're really close. We just need a land. I've got to mulligan this. I'm going to mulligan this. I'm going to be a reasonable person and... Oh, hold up. Wait a second. I can Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize, sack the Lion's Eye Diamond, and bring back a Phoenix. I am hellbent with one land in play and a 3/3, and they're down. That's not good. That's just not good. If that Rite of Flame was another Arclight Phoenix, I would definitely consider it. I think I have to mulligan this one. It's really close, though. Okay, this one. This is not bad. I can keep this and put back an art. It's not very good either. Yeah, I need a little bit more fast mana. I'm going to mulligan this one as well. This one is fine. I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to put back the Arclight Phoenix and the Raucous Theater. And we're going to call that done. And they have a Leyline of Sanctity. Should have put back the Duress. Okay. Well, we only have a single Tendrils in the deck, and it's in the sideboard, so I'm really not going to be targeting my opponent for anything. Platinum Sticks, hello. I'm hopefully able to provide you the motivation that you need for the rest of the day. That is my goal. I would love to be able to do that. All right, basic island and pass. We're going to find our raucous theater that we put on the bottom. Oh my goodness. Okay, that was a little worrisome. I thought that they were going to stifle me for a second. That was going to be wild, but nope, just a Lorien revealed, and they got another basic island. Rite of Flame. Okay, that actually, I'm going to put... Putting it in the graveyard makes future Rite of Flames better. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, well, I'm not going to cast a Simian Spirit Guide. This is just the guy that you beat, Newton. Oh, fun. Okay. Well, they have Leyline of Sanctity, which, by the way, I don't know if you guys know what 90s MTG is, but they're a fantastic Paper Legacy channel on YouTube, and they have an excellent Twitch stream that they, actually do their content creation, and then they put it onto YouTube. And it's one of the best coverages for Paper Magic in the business for Legacy, and they are New York City based. I was in New York City last week, which is why I wasn't streaming, and I went to one of their FNMs, got a couple of matches on camera, and I actually beat a Leyline of Sanctity. It was incredible. I was really, really happy with myself. I'm a little tickled pink about that. Oh boy. Okay. Well, oof. And I really had a fun time stunting on the camera. I beat it with Empty the Warrens. Okay. Well, we gotta concede. We cannot beat an Emrakul. That was a little disappointing. Yeah, Newton, they've got a really good collection of Bryant. And now they have one match of me versus a Grixis Sneak and Show opponent, which was really cool. Alrighty, let's cue in to the next match. And while we're waiting, I already told you about our KMC promo. If you actually watch that 90s MTG match, which I definitely suggest doing, is a really, really fun match, you'll notice that I was using our tokens, which is a perfect segue into making me have Bryant tell you about them right now.
Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game.
All right. And perfect timing. We are here for round number 2 against Palindromic Time. It's the same going forwards as it is coming back. That's kind of a terrifying thought. I won the die roll, though. That's nice. And I'm going to keep this hand. Yeah, I'm going to keep it, play a Bloodstained Mire, just pass the turn. We are fairly close to getting to an Eruption, which is quite nice. You'll see it later, see if my deck is as beautiful as Bryant's is. That's not happening. I am working on my signatures, but they are English non-foil original printings. That's my goal there. They are getting to the point where they're really nicely signed. I'm missing a few of the newer cards. I kind of dropped off the signature bandwagon as I moved, and I haven't really gotten back into it. I got a couple of Surveil lands signed, but I'm missing my Beseeches, things like that. Another basic island. Okay. Basic island Ponder this time, though. Well, we're going to Surveil. If I can put a Phoenix into the graveyard, I'll be very happy with this. Dark Ritual is very nice. I like that a lot. Okay, there we go. My computer, I guess, MTGO is kind of laggy. It's not just my computer. It's all MTGO. It's just a little bit laggier than it ever has been before. Okay, with that dark ritual draw, I don't think that I need... Let's see what my sideboard has. I don't need to imprint anything under Chrome Mox. My sideboard doesn't have much. I can get a Buried Alive for next turn. I don't hate that. Yeah, I can do that. Let's play a little bit of a longer game and get a Buried Alive, and then make our opponent answer either the Buried Alive or the Phoenixes before we elementally erupt all over them. I need to think before I speak. That's okay. Yeah. We are here for the Phoenixes. A little lag for you. Maybe it was because the iOS simulator has been updated. Oh, I don't know. Okay, Beanstalk. This makes sense. Bant beans. Maybe they're splashing for additional colors. Maybe they're playing Leyline Leyline Binding. Excuse me. I don't know. We'll have to see. Okie dokie. I'm going to... Let's see. I'm just going to put a Buried Alive on the stack. They have 6 cards in hand. This is likely to get forced, and they're going to recoup one of their cards, so we're trading 1 for 1 here. But we're getting a force out of their hand and a Narset. I didn't care about the Narset, but I do care about getting the force out, because that was, I mean, let's be honest, a little bit of bait. Because I have this Infernal Tutor Lion's Eye Diamond Wombo combo like it's 2018. This combo hasn't been good since Wishclaw Talisman was printed, and it definitely isn't good ever since Beseech the Mirror was printed, but it is very specifically good in this deck because we're getting Buried Alive, or we're getting Eruption, which can't be beseeched for. And it's a sorcery for our Phoenixes, whereas in our friend the Wishclaw Talisman is not. So they put 1 card on top, and they have 5 cards in their hand. We're going to just keep going a little bit slower than normal. I think we only have 4 mana producing lands in the deck. Fairly low land count. I think it's Raucous Theater. I think it's a Badlands and 1 of each basic. I could be wrong, but I think that's it. They cast a Ponder, missed a land drop, and that's it. Okay. Well, that's pretty good. I'm going to play the land out because they don't need to know that I don't have the lands that I'm pretending to. Oh, is my audio not synced up? That might be a problem. That totally could be the case. I just don't know. Okay, well, Force of Will, we're going to take this, and it's time to go. No, now it's in sync again. Okay, maybe it was just a little bit of a lag spike. I don't know. Yeah, we don't have anything more than these 4 lands. Interesting. That's very tight. Now it is interesting that our opponent has a Swords to Plowshares, which actually is going to have text in this specific instance. But I don't think it's going to be enough to save them. So let's hold control as we cast. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's exactly enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So Infernal Tutor, crack for red, and we get an Infernal Tutor on the stack. And here is Elemental Eruption. We've got this Eruption right here. And boom. 6 4/4s. They can get rid of 1. And it's, oh, wait, no, they can dress down and remove haste. That's what they can do. That's fine. Wait, no, they don't have haste. They have flying and prowess. That's my bad. They don't have haste. Maybe I said haste somewhere. Maybe I wrote it into the description. That's my bad. I need to adjust that. These do not have haste. They have prowess. Hey, yeah, this is fun. Well, you know, the fetches are ways to kind of deal with low land counts. You're playing more lands because you can find them. I mean, it's the whole fetch land thing, right? I don't need to explain that to you. But that's fun. Okay. So they played a Tundra, which they didn't have before. And they're going to Teferi, bounce 1, swords another. I have 4 4/4s. And if I cast a spell, then I have lethal. Otherwise, they go to 2. I think that's pretty good. So there's the swords. And now they have... I just need to cast 1 spell, and we're doing just fine. I'm not fetching to thin here, right? So any spell off of the top gets me a lethal attack. That'll do it. Oh, come on. Come on, MTGO. We're doing just fine. Yeah, look at that. Okay. That was lovely. That was really, really excellent. And we've got a sideboard to prepare for. They saw the Buried Alive, so they know we're a Phoenix deck. What I'm gonna do is... Okay, so like I can bring in Elemental Eruption, I can bring in Lightning Bolts. This is a very thin sideboard package, right? This is the sideboard's slots, right? The rest are Burning Wish targets. Ley lines obviously are not useful in this case. Neither is Lightning Bolt. Mindbreak Trap is not good here. The only card that I could potentially think of is Elemental Eruption as another way to play a little bit of small ball. Have smaller, more frequent elemental eruptions as opposed to one big eruption. This is just miserable at this point, right? We're understanding the euphemistic phrases, I hope. I think that's all I really need. Is just one elemental eruption, and I'm good to go. We're going to call it perfect. Don't change anything. Submit deck. Now, here's something that we could have done is Lightning Bolt for something like a Lavinia. Oh, I like this. No disruption, but I think I'm going to keep this. Lightning Bolt for Lavinia would not be a bad way to go about it, but we have Thoughtseizes and Duresses for things that are non-creature based. I would love to draw a Thoughtseize in the next turn or so. I hope they just don't land a Lavinia, otherwise I don't have that many lands. Okay, they don't have anything. I wonder if this is a dress down or something like that. The card realized your dream of a good Dragonstorm combo deck. Yeah, absolutely. You know, Dragonstorm didn't used to be a thing. It wasn't really ever particularly great. But now, okay, I'm going to put Infernal Tutoring into the bin. I don't need another one of those. I need Thoughtseizes. That's not bad. Okay, so what can I do here? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I could Burning Wish. I have 5 mana available. That gets countered. I Infernal Tutor for a oh, actually, I don't have to play out my Chrome Mox yet, or the Infernal Tutor, because if Burning Wish resolves, I can just get an Elemental Eruption. Okay, I think this is the go turn. I think it's not going to get any better than this. I can be convinced otherwise, but it's been a while since I've cast a Rite of Flame. This is kind of nice. So I have the requisite amount of mana to elementally erupt all over my opponent if everything works out in my favor. But if this doesn't resolve, oh, it does resolve. Okay, so we've got Elemental Eruption. Fun. And this imprints the Infernal Tutor, and then boom, bada bing, bada boom. I guess I could have imprinted the Simian Spirit Guide. That probably would have been better. But I can at least get a 4/4 out of this whole thing because I can pay for one of these Flusterstorms. Okay. Flusterstorm was always going to be able to get us. I didn't have any kind of discard or anything like that, so I'll be fine. And our opponent looks like they know how to resolve a Flusterstorm. There was a previous opponent, I think 2 weeks ago, I guess, that did not know. Okay, so I can pay for this one, the first one, and be good to go. And now I have a 4/4, and unfortunately, that's all I can do. And just click no a bunch of times just on the keyboard. And I have a 4/4, and that's it. I don't know if that's better than having an Infernal Tutor in my hand, but it's, better than nothing, I guess. Surgical Extraction, Elemental Eruption. Okay, well, there is another copy in the deck, and they get to actually take a look at the deck. Which, good luck, opponent. It is a pile of cards. So our opponent has 4 cards in hand. I guess binning this Infernal Tutor did open myself up to Surgical. So if my opponent was really savvy, they would have Surgicaled the Infernal Tutor, and I would have been dead in the water. But we're just going to attack for a 4/4 with 4/4 forever. Nope, it's a 5/5. Surprise! I just need to do that a couple of times. They might have a Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, okay. Well, they kept in their targeted removal, Seeds of Innocence, Endurance. My goodness, my opponent doesn't want to lose to anything that I've got going on. Funny, because I would actually take the Endurance here. I don't care about Seeds of Innocence. My artifact count is so low. So I'm actually going to take the Force of Will. And there's really... I just got to hope. If my opponent decides to try to turn the corner with an Endurance, and then I can fill my hand up to Buried Alive all of my Phoenixes into the graveyard, then I can have a nice attack for 12 and potentially win that way. We'll just have to see. So Endurance, Seeds of Innocence, and an Unknown. Hey, there's that Phoenix. I was talking about you being in the graveyard, but another land allows me to cast it. Obviously they have a creature with reach, but I don't know. Maybe we can get a cheeky attack in if I get one of my lands, one of my 2 remaining lands, and they don't seeds me. I don't know. Because casting the Arclight Phoenix would get me into a board stall, because I get 1 cheeky attack in, and then I would be winning the race for now. So they're disincentivized to actually do anything. But I didn't draw the mana, so now it's fine. Okay, well, that's good. There's the Lotus Petal, and I will hard cast this Phoenix. See what they do. They have 3 unknown cards in hand. I took a force out. They could have another Swords to Plowshares. I don't know what they could have. They could have anything. But they do have Force blue card. Wow. Okay, those are some good draws, opponent. Okay, so we're really just drawing to a Buried Alive, and they get to re-fire with a Ponder. Okay, I don't think that we're going to be winning this one. But I think this is game 2, right? This might be game 3. We might not have another one after this. And there's the Lavinia. Okay. Well, I definitely, if I hit a land and then some Dark Rituals and a Buried Alive, I can still win. Okay. So I'm actually going to hold off on this Burning Wish, because this could be a Burning Wish, crack Lion's Eye Diamond, cast a Buried Alive. I need a land to be able to cast the Buried Alive, so I'm not going to do anything yet. But that could be really nice in the future. It has to be the near future for sure. Okay, Narset. That doesn't affect me necessarily. And they found another Narset. Okay. LED. Yikes. Okay. Oh, yeah, Lavinia, the Lion's Eye Diamonds. That's right. Oh, Platinum. This is the match counter. Yeah, I'm dead to Lavinia. I can't do anything with these Lion's Eye Diamonds. That's right. That's fine. I'll keep playing it out to make them think that I have an out to Lavinia, but I am dead in the water. But yes, this, I guess, counter, wherever it is, there, right under the mic, is a match counter, not a game counter. Okay, well, I can duress them, see what's going on, and concede. Okay, they have more Swords to Plowshares. Okay. Wow. Okay, that was game 2. We do have a game 3. And I'm going to bring in Lightning Bolts. I'm dead in the water to Lavinia. I need something. And I'm going to get rid of Simian Spirit Guides, I think. Or Duresses. One of the two. It's got to be Spirit Guides. I think it's going to be Spirit Guides. Yep. All right. I think that that's going to be okay. This Ad Nauseam is just staring me in the face, but they don't clock very quickly, so Ad Nauseam is actually pretty okay here. And let's play first. Why keep swords? Goblins are no more. I know, but we have shown them phoenixes, so I think that that's why. This is not bad. All right, I'll keep this. I'm not going to do anything with this duress on turn 1. I can just get a Surveil land. And I actually have everything covered. I have Lightning Bolt to cover the Lavinia. I have duress to cover everything else. And I'm sitting pretty for now. We'll have to see what happens. but I like my stance for now. Let's see if it ends in an eruption. Dark Ritual. That's pretty good. Okay. Well, now with that, the duress is a nice piece of protection. So I'm going to just play it safe for now. Forest, Tundra, Beanstalk, big surprise. The beans are here. Our opponent is loaded up with 7 cards in hand, and let's see what R7 has to say. Ooh, double duress. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is not enough to duress and Infernal Tutor into an ad nauseum, so I'm going to fire off a duress right now and see what happens. They have, wow, Monastery Mentor, spicy meatball. I guess I can take both of their forces here. And then they're just kind of pondering into something, but they can't ponder into force blue card. They can find a Flusterstorm, I guess, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I can just strip both of their forces. Ooh, they're forcing that. Oh, okay. That's fine too. I cleared all of that. They have Swords to Plowshares, Mystic Sanctuary, St. Catherine, and Monastery Mentor. It's very interesting that they wanted to do that. I'm okay with the 2-for-1. I was just going to take the force, and I also got the blue card out of the whole deal, and they drew a card, so they have an unknown, now 2 unknowns in hand. Okay, so it was Swords to Plowshares, St. Catherine, Monastery Mentor, Mystic Sanctuary, and they have a land here. Okay. So they have 1 unknown card. And they're not holding open any mana, so it can't be forced blue card. And I think that I can then just lightning bolt this Monastery Mentor and go burr. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is an ad nauseum if I want it. I think that that's probably better than anything else I've got going on. Or I don't have to lightning bolt right away. And hold open a mana. That's probably better. This Monastery Mentor is likely not going to do anything. Yeah, let's do that. And in which case, I think I still want just to hold open a Badlands here. So I'm going to imprint the Buried Alive to play around a Surgical Extraction. I don't want that Surgical Extraction. Yeah. And then the Badlands can be what's held open. Hold priority. And man, for the first time in a long time, I'm putting ad nauseum on the stack. Look at this. It's been a long time. Okay, so let's actually open up our revealed zone, Cabal Ritual, and Burning Wish. Elemental Eruption. We're already at 8, and that one's a toughie to swallow. Rite of Flame, that's not bad. Lion's Eye Diamond. Buried Alive. Uh-oh. Lotus Petal. Okay, that's good. Land. Have we made a land drop this turn? No. So we have an Empty the Warrens that kills us. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think that 5, 6, 7. I think that this is good. No, I don't want to repeat this. go. Let's do this Rite of Flame. And Cabal Ritual. And then a Lion's Eye Diamond, and we get ourselves a nice elemental eruption. I think that's it. Oh, wait, no. I have, oh, my goodness, a Tendrils. Yeah, Newton, you were right there with me. Burning Wish for Tendrils. There's a Tendrils in the sideboard. My goodness. Where's the fun in that, though? Huh? Where's the fun in that? I mean, I'll take it, but, like, think of how many dragons that would be. And be dragging all over my opponent. I'm not going to say those jokes. Nope. Okay, we are tied up. We are 1-1 with this. I mean, I got an ad nauseum win. And I have a dragon win on the board. Not something that I was expecting, to be completely honest. I was not expecting this to do super well. I've been pleasantly surprised. So let's do this a really quick little ad about if you want to play this at home, you can rent this from Card Hoarder, and we'll tell you about Card Hoarder in a little bit because we are up against Jesus MTG. And my goodness, how about a turn 1 ad nauseum? Now our opponent is on the play. I'm going to keep this though. See what happens. Do we get scammed? Flooded Strand? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen out of a Flooded Strand? Well, that's pretty good too. They just fetched an island and said go. I kind of want to just play the Raucous Theater, Surveil, and pass. I want a Thoughtseize or a Duress. I have 8 pieces of protection, and I would like to find one of them before attempting a win. I can play a little bit slower here, and I think that that's just fine. Thoughtseize, look at that. Okay. I'm happy as a clam. My opponent, I've had opponents playing around Stifle quite a bit. End step Brainstorm. Okay, so they very well might be correct in doing so. They might be a combo deck for all I know. But I always hesitate when someone end step brainstorms. I'm just never quite sure. Okay, so I'm not going to play out any of the rituals yet. What I am going to do is play out the Lotus Petals and Thoughtseize my opponent. And they've got nothing. Okay, I will take this Force of Will. They've got Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, they don't have anything, Joe, which is just wild. Okay, here's my revealed, because turns out Adnaz is resolving this turn. Let's grab a... Let's just grab a Badlands. I'll play into a Back to Basics in the main deck. Okay, so this is 3, 4, 5. This is 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can't actually make Threshold here. Oh yeah, they're not going to have Back to Basics. Taiga, Savannah, yeah, no way. Okay, let's see what Ad Nauseam brings us. Buried Alive, Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual. Okay, we have Phoenixes already in the bag. Thoughtseize, it's pretty good. Arclight Phoenix, well, that's less good. Empty the Warrens. Okie dokie. I think I'm going to stop here. That was kind of tough, but we're going to make it work. 1, 2, 3, 4. Empty the Warrens. I guess that's going to be it. Yeah, and then I can Arclight later. I don't know. I kind of want to try to do a little bit more. They've got Swords to Plowshares, and that's it. Empty the Warrens is probably good enough. Okay. Yeah, Empty the Warrens is good enough. Okie dokie. How many cards left? There's an Elemental Eruption. There are 2 more Phoenixes. There's enough that I don't want to actually keep flipping. So this way I get essentially lethal. Like I'm going to leave them at 1, but if they fetch, then they're at lethal. And they have Swords to Plowshares, sure, but they have to use them now on puny little 1/1s instead of any of my hasty 3/2s. Yeah, this isn't like the most amazing Adnaz deck. There's Buried Alives, there's Arclight Phoenixes, Elemental Eruptions, Empty the Warrens. Obviously, Buried Alive doesn't kill me in that spot, but these are higher mana value cards, just inherently in the deck. So that's fine. They did draw a Brainstorm off the top, which is pretty good. And they have a Savannah, so no shuffle effect. So I know... Oh, they have a Beanstalk. Okay, I know all 3 cards in their deck. Okay, yeah, I don't know why they did that, but that's fine. Cool. I'm going to keep doing exactly what I'm doing. I think that we talked about Lavinia. In the Tundra Savannah deck, I'm a little less likely to bring in Lightning Bolt for Lavinia. I think I'm going to still do it. Yeah, I was not necessarily... I mean, I could extrapolate Beanstalk, but I wasn't sure 100% that they were a Beanstalk deck. I think I'm getting rid of the Simian Spirit Guides, just like before, and bringing in Lightning Bolts, just because we are... I mean, we're not dead to Lavinia, but it is a rough spot. And we have a sideboard Chain Lightning for Lavinia, but that's just... it's a lot to deal with. Okay, so Lightning Bolts in, Simian Spirit Guides out. See where things go. We still don't know necessarily what flavor of 4 or 5 color Beanstalk my opponent is playing, but I mean, there's hopefully only one other game to find out. Hopefully we 2-0 our opponent. My lighting sucks. That's my bad. There we go. Didn't realize there was a little bit of a line here, a little bit of a poor shadow. Okay. Maybe they have a main deck out for that situation. They were digging for it, Terminus or Verdict or something. Yeah, maybe. I could definitely see them having Terminus in a Beanstalk deck. Verdict is potentially a one-of. I actually like this. This is nice, slow, grindy. I can fetch my Surveil land. I don't have any action. I'm not particularly concerned about that yet. So I'm okay. Now, the question is, do I find the Surveil land or do I try to Thoughtseize them for Lavinia? And I think I'm just going to find... That's a lot of discard. Okay, well, I'm going to forego a Surveil land and I'm just going to discard them right away. Okay. This might be a Null Rod that they're protecting. This might be a Lavinia. I'm guessing that there's a 2-mana permanent that's going to hit the battlefield right now. And they're going to find it off of Savannah so that they have domain for... Yep, there's the Savannah. They've got their domain. This looks like a Lavinia. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Okay, I'm glad I have my lightning bolts in. and I am glad that I decided to Thoughtseize on turn 1. Obviously, they had the Force and the Lavinia. Burning Wish allows me to get the Chain Lightning that answers Lavinia. I'm probably going to do that right now. They have 3 cards in hand. They already had Force Lavinia. They would have had to have a third piece of interaction, which I was not expecting them to have. So Chain Lightning answers the Lavinia, and I can Thoughtseize beforehand to protect the Chain Lightning. We'll see what happens. I've got a lot of discard. Hopefully I can actually use that discard to aggressively protect a very nice combo win. But we'll see. Buried Alive. That's pretty good. How about we do that? Here is a Dark Ritual. If this resolves, I can Thoughtseize. There's a Swords to Plowshares. I'll take the sword. I will cast a Rite of Flame and a Chain Lightning on the Lavinia. They can shoot it back, except they only have 1 red source. And then I have a Buried Alive here for 3 Phoenixes. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go to combat. What a glorious sight. And we have some hasty 3/2s. That was incredible. We've done everything now. We've cast Ad Nauseam for a Tendrils win. We've hit Elemental Eruption, and we've got a Phoenix Buried Alive. That was, honestly, that was very special. I am very happy with this. We could lose everything in the future in all of the other remaining matches and I'd be happy. This is everything that I wanted to do in this league and more. That sideboard chain lightning to get the Lavinia off the battlefield so we can actually do all of that. Obviously we could have found another land, right? But who cares about that? So that was pretty fun. When you see Burning Wish LED, you always think of Beseech nowadays. Yeah, I know. You just got to get a Beseech. But no, we can get Chain Lightning and win the game. All right. Before I actually click play a league match, because leagues are actually firing off pretty quickly, let me tell you how you can rent this deck from Card Hoarder and have a lot of fun just like we're having right now. So let me have Bryant tell you about that, and then we can get through. Next round goal, Thassa's Oracle win. Totally can happen. I'm waiting for an Empty the Warrens win. That's what I need. That's what I hook it into my veins. Ugh.
With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist.
All right. I'm really glad that I waited to hit it because it actually paired immediately. And Domingo SFH or Domingo's FH. I don't know. Game 1 against the 9-color deck, didn't you? Yes, I did. Okay. We are 1 black source or 1 red source away from Buried Alive. I'm going to keep this. And we're on the draw, so we actually have we can try that out. Try the Thassa's Dredge list with Satoru. Yeah, that looks really incredible. I was watching Maffa's Van Gogh, excuse me. He was doing some really incredible things with Dredge. He's always doing something really cool with Dredge. And that's just like the latest and greatest, and winning with Thassa's Oracle and Dredge is kind of fun. Okay, Patchwork Automaton. So we got our 8 cast Stompy. It's going to be tough. They're going to be able to go a little bit bigger than us. Plus they're a Stompy deck, so our Ad Nauseam is kind of tough. But they probably don't have a lot of flyers, so we might be able to get an Eruption all over them. Duress is a good start. Thoughtcast. Well, I'm glad I stripped that out. Wow. So they've got a Seat of the Synod and a Thoughtcast to rebuild, and I took that away from them. I'm okay. So they have 1 random draw, 2 random draws, but the Urza's Bauble. Okay, they see a Burning Wish. Wow. Congratulations. Jordan Karim, under the pseudonym Me the Captain, plays Burning Wish. Stop the presses. Okay, and they drew a castable. One of those two, a Simulacrum Synthesizer. Okay, so this is a fun artifact. When it ETBs, scry 2, and then if they cast an artifact with mana value 3 or greater, or when it ETBs, excuse me, make a construct, which is, I mean, construct Stompy. It can be very scary. This is an actual affinity deck. They're actually playing affinity cards with affinity, high CMC cards that get cheaper with the number of artifacts that you have. It's kind of fun. And it is a 3 mana artifact. Okay. So it turns itself on, actually, which is kind of interesting. I'm so close to doing everything that I want. And I can even Burning Wish for a... I think I'm going to have enough mana to Burning Wish for a Chain Lightning to get rid of this Patchwork Automaton. Oop, never mind. Okay. Thoughtcast. They have 2 cards in hand. That was a good set of draws from them. And another Thoughtcast. Okay. Lotus Petal. Okay. Yep. I can't do anything about this. Another Thoughtcast. They have cast 3 Thoughtcasts this turn that they just drew. They ripped off the top. That'd be nice. Careful of the ward on my Chain Lightning. Oh, yeah, that's true. Ward 2. As you can tell, I don't really target things other than my opponent in my general day-to-day life. I forgot that Patchwork Automaton has ward. Yeah, that's okay. It's way past Chain Lightning. I will be Chain Lightning my opponent's face if I draw a red or a black source. If I just a mana source. It could even be a Chrome Mox. Not a Lion's Eye Diamond and not another ritual. No, not another ritual. Not another ritual. Chalice on 1. Well, okay. That's fine. What am I doing here? I am deceased. I'm going to call it good. Calling it quits. Chalice on 1. They drew so well. They drew so well. All right, then. What can you do? Do we have Artifact Hate in here? I don't think we do. Nope. That's a little bit of an oversight. Don't you think? No Chalice removal. Okay. I'm not going to do anything different. I'm just going to resubmit. We have 8 discard spells as Chalice removal, so I think that's fine. Ready to board in Null Rods. Yeah, that's right. I really think that old school 8 cast with boots is better than this version. This version is all or nothing. I mean, yeah, honestly, they cave to a Null Rod. So Patchwork, Patches a hooligan, Patches whatever, is a way around Artifact Hate. Same with Urza Saga. But, I mean, this deck suffers a lot more when it comes to Null Rod type effects. Stony Silence. collector roof than others, right? They even actually have artifact lands, Seed of the Synod and Tree of Tales as actual artifact lands, right? Tree of Tales to turn on Haywire Might, which doesn't function to remove a Null Rod, but whatever. Okay. We would like to play first. And I'm going to keep this. We've got Chalice removal, so I'm good here. What I would really like to see is a Force of Will on my Duress so that I can then Lotus Petal Thoughtseize them. It's a 3-for-3, but I would feel much better in that situation than I think my opponent would, especially on a mulligan to 6. And let's get a Badlands and Duress my opponent. Blue Elemental Blast. Wow. Okay. Patches. I think I'm taking this Blue Elemental Blast and then hoping that they can't turn on Patches or this Mox Opal so that they... Yeah, okay. Let's see about this. I don't think that I'm going to get rid of the Lotus Petal to take Patches off the table. That is the only thing that they've got going for them, but if they can't turn on Mox Opal, then Patches is done. And even if they find a way to turn Mox Opal on, all of their artifacts would have been cast before the Patches. So I'm actually okay here. And they have an Urza Saga. Okay, fantastic. Whoop-de-doo. I'm not a problem. I don't have a problem with that. Not yet, anyway. Okay, island means that they haven't drawn an artifact land. And yeah, that's it. Cool. Do I even care about Patches? I mean, I guess we'll figure out what I'm drawing. Another Lion's Eye Diamond. I think that I want to buy a little bit more time to draw a piece of action. Oh, they could have actually cast Patches. They did find a 0-mana artifact, but they wanted to actually be a little bit more aggressive with their stuff. I mean, they're going to have a big Urza Saga token, so that's fine. Those are a little bit slower to turn around, so I think I'm fine with this. I'm glad that I Thoughtseized. Kind of giving myself a little bit of breathing room for the ability to draw into some things. I can Surveil here, and I've got all kinds of time. Okay, they have an Urza's Bauble and an unknown card in hand. They have an unknown card in hand. All right. That's a pretty good one. Okay, they get to scry 2. Let's see what they scry. They're going to have a lot of constructs. They bottomed both. How fun. And they're going to bauble me. They're going to see the top of my deck, which is going to change. And then they're going to see the card in hand is Lotus Petal. And that's not going to change. But the top of the deck is going to. Raucous Theater and bin a Lotus Petal. I need some action. Infernal Tutor would be great here. They have 2 random draws. Hopefully it's not Force Blue card. Doesn't matter anyway. Okay. Well, they have 3 cards, new, fresh off the top. And I really hope that it's not good. Ancient Tomb. All right. And they're doing things. Chalice on 1? Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay. What's the last card in hand? We don't know. It's nothing that they're willing to play. Chalice is just kind of tough right now. Ancient Tomb Chalice means that they don't even have to take a turn off of Urza's Saga there. Okay. We've got a lot of mana. Infernal Tutor will likely get me to the win here with an ad nauseum. I can even Infernal Eruption, honestly. Burning Wish, Infernal Tutor. I've got a lot of really good draws. I can't really do anything with a Buried Alive, especially since I won't be able to race my opponent, who's going to have, quite the army. They found a Mishra's Bauble. Okay. I was expecting them to find like a Lava Spur Boots and crack me for, lethal, actually. No, not lethal. It wouldn't have been lethal, but pretty darn close. Okay, so they get a Scry, one top, one bottom, and they have another 9/9. So they have heckin' lethal. And my ad nauseum is significantly worse, but it doesn't matter because we are deceased. Okay. Chalice was good that game, but it definitely didn't matter because I didn't draw anything. So we are tied up. We are straight even, and hopefully we can get a positive record on the scoreboard. We'll have to figure it out. If you want to build this deck in person, you can do so by following the Moxfield link down below and start building your collection, tracking your collection, all that good stuff. But I'm not going to actually run the ad because we are already here. And we are playing up against Doomwake. You can see that this DB_Doomwake means that this is the Daybreak Games account for Doomwake. And this is part of the Daybreak Games creator program. Really, really cool program. I didn't get into it in time. And I'm going to mulligan this hand. But this is a kind of a surefire way to let you know that this is a Doomwake opponent that is playing for Daybreak. Okay. Good stuff here. If I get rid of the Cabal Ritual, Chrome Mox Imprint Arclight Phoenix is 1, Lotus Petal is 2, Dark Ritual is 3, 4, Lion's Eye Diamond is 5, 6, 7. Burning Wish is 5 total mana, and then I can get Empty the Warrens, I think is my get there. I think I have a sideboard Empty the Warrens. I do. Okay. I'm going to keep this, and I'm actually going to, in this case, I'm going to keep, and I'm going to bottom. I can bottom the Arclight Phoenix, but I'm actually going to bottom the Cabal Ritual, because if I draw an imprintable card, then I can bin the Arclight Phoenix, and then I'll get an additional 3/2. So I'm actually going to get rid of the Cabal Ritual here. There we go. The alt account thing that they're doing for these people seems silly. Well, I think that it's going to be able... There's some specific instances of, what they can use the alternate account for and things that they can't use the account for. Content creation specific versus anything else. So I think it's a good workaround for a problem that they were going to have with it. All right. So with this, is it better to have a 3/2? So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. Should I imprint the Arclight Phoenix, or should I imprint the Rite of Flame, or just cast the Rite of Flame? I can't cast the Rite of Flame. I do need to imprint the Rite of Flame. So let's actually imprint the Rite of Flame here. Yeah. You can have dragons. 1, 2. Oh, this is against lands, though. This is going to be tough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I can have dragons. Okay, thank you very much. That was good, Dougal the doggy. Doodle the doggy. My goodness, I know your username. But here we go for playing into a tabernacle. But nice catch. We are going to have the dragons. Elemental Eruption. How about I erupt all over the battlefield? Doomwake, what are you going to do about that? Crop rotation wins the game. Duh. But I think it's going to be the best thing I can do. Okay. Nice. No, I haven't called it that. Yeah, Cliff, you got it right too. All right. We have dragons. Ooh, they didn't have it. Okay, we got it. We did the thing. And much better than any kind of Empty the Warrens. Yeah, I really wasn't thinking about what a Rite of Flame would do to change the game. That was nice. That was an excellent gameplay transition. There we go. That's the word for it. You are actively contributing to the game. This is what happens when you are watching live. You can actively help me avoid making mistakes. And speaking of, everybody say hi to Angus, the most active mistake maker. He's a lovely boy, but he's in the way and he's going to start pressing keys. And I'm not going to want that. He's so good, though. He's a lovely boy. Okay. I'm going to get rid of... Oh, my goodness. This is actually kind of tough. So I think that I can get rid of Empty the Warrens and I can get rid of Elemental Eruption. I actually kind of want to lean into the Arclight game. Angus is a very good boy. That was Mana Bond lands? I don't know. Okay. I think I might want to bring in the Buried Alive. I don't know. I've seen lists have a sideboard Burning Wish haste enabler. Okay. Let's think about this. Do I want to lean into the Arclight build of this? Probably fine, I guess. Maybe I just bring in Buried Alive. One Punishing Fire. Yeah. But I can constantly recur it in the face of a Tabernacle. Maybe I keep in Elemental Eruption. I think that's fine. So Empty the Warrens out, Buried Alive in. It's a very small change. I'm not sure if that's going to be ideal. Because one solid graveyard hate is going to be the end of me. But hey, I'm one Dark Ritual away from an ad nausea, and I've got Thoughtseizes to protect everything. I'll take it. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to keep this. This is just Bloodstained Mire, pass. Don't fetch. Don't do anything into a wasteland. And hope for the best. Angus hair everywhere. Oh, that you're on Mana Bond. Oh, okay. Or that our opponent is on Mana Bond. Maybe one land. Like, this is so close, but drawing another Dark Ritual is kind of tough. Another land and a burning, or not a Burning Wish, a Rite of Flame would do the same thing. I want to keep, like, this is a lot of Thoughtseizes. I'm going to mulligan. This is fine. I'll keep this. Put back the Arclight Phoenix, obviously, and see where things go. Grove of the Burn Willows, Exploration. Okay. Storm 20. Very good. You got that for free. Usually people charge for that kind of stuff. But I didn't really put my back into it, so we're fine. Okay. Soul Guide Lantern. Well, there goes my Buried Alive decisions and a Wasteland. Infernal Tutor is next to useless now. This is the problem with Infernal Tutor. We have better tutors in Legacy. Obviously, Infernal Tutor is the right tutor for this deck. But, I mean, man, we have better tutors in Legacy. Field of the Dead? Oh, this is the new-ish Field of the Dead. What is it from? Special Guests. Okay, that's fun. Now I'm just gonna, I have 4 lands that tap for mana. I cannot fetch into a wasteland. All right, that's the Infernal Tutor Lion's Eye Diamond combo, but I've got the Ad Nauseam right here. No way to shuffle that back into the grave or into the deck. And we'll just have to see where all of this goes. The combo of Arclight Phoenix and Adnos. It's actually worked out just fine. We've actually had Adnos wins. We've had Arclight Phoenix wins. We've had Explosion wins or Eruption wins, excuse me. And the only thing that we're missing is Empty the Warrens wins. What is my favorite Storm card? Grape Shot. Grape Shot is my favorite Storm card. Although, man, Empty the Warrens, I love the tokens. Those are my favorite tokens, but Grape Shot is my favorite Storm card. But I love putting Empty the Warrens tokens onto the battlefield. Again, check out 90s MTG. I had a recorded video there. It's actually linked on our website as well. And it's so much fun. I had an empty win, and it was really, really good. Oh, goodness. Yes. It's been lazy. I haven't shaved. Leave me alone. Okay. Our opponent, there it is. I shouldn't have said anything. I was like, they haven't really shown us any reason for them to keep. And then they landed a Sphere of Resistance and just made a mockery of me. Can I beat this? I mean, I can, technically. It's not great. Brain Freeze is more fun. Yeah, I can see that. I enjoy Brain Freeze wins in Vintage or Cube. Vintage Cube specifically, I guess. Do you have another Sphere? I will concede on the spot. Life from the Loam. Okay, that's fine. That's not a problem. Let's see. Hey, there's a basic land. That's nice. Eat your heart out, Wasteland. Although we have the requisite number of fetches for the number of mana producing lands in the deck. So, I don't know. It's like the 2024 version of Weird Al. Just wait until I take my hair down. It's great. Okay, there's a port. My goodness. We are playing 2013 lands here. I mean, I guess there's Field of the Dead. Never mind. Field of the Dead makes lands so much better than it ever used to be. I take back my 2013 comment. This is still really good. This is like 2020 lands. And they're porting my... Oh. Okay. Well, I can fetch another basic. That's fine. How about that? Eat your heart out. Dark Ritual. Does this do anything? Am I actually in this game at all? I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing much, but we're going to keep going. Oh yeah, I should probably have played out the Lion's Eye Diamond. That's fine. Yeah, I should have played out the Lion's Eye Diamond. That's fine. Oh, they've got double port. They're going to double port me now. That's kind of tough. Okay. Yeah, I could add Nas in the upkeep. in response to that and see where things go. They have Soul Guide Lantern to take me off of any kind of threshold, which is kind of the best way to combat Sphere of Resistance, but that's fine. It'll be okay. I think the next step is just to like win on the play. Okay. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay. So I do this with a Lotus Petal up and a draw step. Oh no. Oh, I don't have because it's a raucous theater. Oh my goodness. I remember my first time playing Magic. Yeah, Bryant. I got it. Yeah, we got. It's a little hazy. Like I have a green hand here or there, but it's fine. This is tough. You know what? I can't actually do anything. I can't do anything. I'm gonna concede. That's a little frustrating. That's fine. Okay. Do I need to do anything? I don't have any out to Sphere of Resistance. I don't have any. It's fine. We recognize that there are some downsides to this. Permanent removal is one of them. So we're just going to submit and call it good. I think Arclights are better than Elemental Eruptions because it's one card. I mean, I lose to a land either way, whether it's Bojuka Bog or Tabernacle, but the Arclight Phoenixes fight through Tabernacle kind of nicely. And the Bojuka Bog or the Soul Guide Lantern is a one-off thing, so I think that's fine. Team building retreat for the TES time must be the most toxic events ever. Yeah. We kind of bully each other back and forth. It's totally fine. It's actually quite a lot of fun. Mine just so happens to, wait a second. Okay. Keep this. Okay. What can I do here? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is not enough to erupt. So I can empty the Warrens. I can't even peer without passing the turn. I could imprint a Rite of Flame to the Chrome Mox, cast a Burning Wish off of a basic swamp, and get a peer into the Abyss. My opponent would have to have nothing on the draw. They couldn't have. I mean, they would have to not have Mindbreak Trap and not have Sphere of Resistance. They could have any kind of graveyard hate that they want, but I could get a peer into the Abyss right now. And I don't have to play the Lotus Petal because that would play into Force of Vigor, and I could actually 5. If they have Force of Vigor, they still get me with the Chrome Mox, but any mana gets me there. I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep this, and I think that I'm gonna get peer into the Abyss because I can't. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can empty the Warrens, or I could hold off and get peer into the Abyss, and I think that I'm getting peer into the Abyss. So I think that's what's gonna be the game here. And they mulligan to 6. They mulligan to 5. I'm kind of okay with this. Okay. They kept 5. Now they could force this. They didn't. Force of vigor, I should say. They are F6'd, but that doesn't really mean anything. Okay, peer into the abyss. And pass. I think that this gives me the best outs to winning. They just have to kept a 5 that has a turn 2 sphere of resistance. And of course they have a Mox Diamond and a land and a sphere of resistance on a 5. So go for it. Don't slow roll me, Doomwake. Come on. Oh. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I can't do anything but play. Oh wait, hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 4, 5, 6. I can't wait to play around a Mindbreak trap by like just being patient. So I think that this is just gonna have to be a forced play into it like a chump. And it's just gonna be what it is. They don't have it, okay? They just don't have it. They obviously kept it. Oh, I drew 25 cards. Oh my goodness. Okay. Color me surprised. So let's exile this, cast a Rite of Flame. There's a Lion's Eye Diamond in there. There's a Cabal Ritual. Let's start off with 6. I have a couple of Cabal Rituals. Okay, so I'll get paid out eventually with Threshold, which is just fine. Oh, of course, the Lotus Petal was Threshold. Okay, perfect. Totally fine. And let's duress my opponent. I've got plenty of black mana to work with. And this is going to be lethal, potentially. Crop rotation. Okay. Bajuka Bog. Yeah, that's fine. Life from the Loam. Saucy. And this looks like a win to me. This smells like victory. Tendrils of Agony. Go all the way to the other side. Cast a Tendrils for the win. Wow. Wow. Look at that. Okay. We have a positive record with, well, this. Whatever this is. So we've got a really fun Rakdos Phoenix Eruption Storm deck. 2 Tendrils wins. We've got a couple of Elemental Eruption wins. We had a Phoenix win. Actually, quite a lot of fun. We didn't even have to sideboard in Mindbreak Trap. That was great. I didn't even want to mention it in the deck tech. We're playing Mindbreak Trap like a traitor, like a Benedict, and it's fine. It didn't actually have to come up at all. I didn't have to bring it in. I didn't have to cast it. It's all good. So obviously, playing Rakdos, playing 2 colors, you're limited in the amount of things that you can do for sideboard cards. However, red is an artifact removal. We have a braid and things like that. But we were stone cold to a Chalice of the Void. It was kind of tough. We did beat Lavinia as an on-board permanent that was a problem. And we did really well. I actually really liked this deck. Is it super competitive? No. But was it a lot of fun? Yeah, absolutely. Bringing back Phoenixes and having a fantastic board state of dragons, that's exciting Magic the Gathering. And doing so in a combo package just kind of appealed to me a little bit nostalgic in a way that kind of tickled the right fancies. Infernal Tutor is a garbage tutor in a competitive sense. At this point in Magic's history, we recognize that it is a good, solid workhorse of a tutor, has seen its light in the sun or time in the sun, and it's time to move on to other things. But this is actually a really nice little niche space where Infernal Tutor worked out really well. I was able to get Elemental Eruption with an Infernal Tutor. Did I do that with Infernal Tutor? Yeah, I did. You can do the same thing with Burning Wish, right? We have the Buried Alive Infernal Tutor kind of deal, and it's actually really nice. I liked all of this. 8 discard spells, quite a lot. Still a lot of fun. So, yeah, 2013 feelings. Thankfully, our storm spells are a little bit better now. Arclight Phoenix exists, Elemental Eruption exists, but it's got the same vibe where it's kind of not a good storm deck. Is that what constitutes nostalgic? Where, your 2013, 2014, your storm decks are just kind of janky, and that's what you love about them? Well, this is exactly it, and it was a lot of fun. Peer into the Abyss Resolved. I was so shocked about that. I feel like we got away with something there. Anyway, thank you very much for enjoying this with me. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did, although you might be hard-pressed on that one. And I will see you next week. I know, actual back-to-back weeks of streaming for me. So be sure to check out Thursday morning in our community channel on the YouTube page. You can vote for what you want to see next. Ruby Storm with Elemental Eruption just narrowly missed out on being the winning slot. Maybe you'll get to see back-to-back Elemental Eruption decks. Who knows? We'll have to find out. Tune in next time to find out with me. I've been saying find out a lot. Don't worry about it. Water off a duck's back. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good night.